Welcome back to the Colts Cast. He is Jamal, and I'm Eric, your co-host of the Colts Cast. Jamal, how many fantasy football leagues are you in?
5. It's a lot going on. It's a lot.
You better have at least 2 Colts players on your team.
That I do. My name for this year is Downs and Out.
Downs
So
and
a
out.
little homage to Mr. Josh Downs himself. Of course, I got him on a couple squads. How about you, bro?
I
You
do.
got?
So my last redraft league, I got JT and Josh Downs.
Ooh.
So I'm happy. I was gonna take Tyler Warren. I thought I had too much exposure to the Colts, so I took Njoku instead. So I play into the bias a little bit, but I also I gotta keep it real.
No, listen, that's fair, bro. Because a couple of my leagues, like I said, I had opportunities to draft some other Colts players too. And I'm like, I'm not gonna dabble too much. But then some of the leagues, people send me a trade request for 4 Colts players. I'm like, bro, just because I like the team doesn't mean I want the players. I appreciate the squad, but I'm not dumb, like you said.
Yeah,
I
my
I think
my
I know my
dynasty
players are
league,
better.
I have, I think I have AD Mitchell, Tyler Warren. Who else? I know I have Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. I have a lot of Michael Pittman.
Yeah,
So I probably have too much Colts exposure to win this year, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you
what it
gotta do,
is.
right?
That's right.
Enough about fantasy. Let's talk 53-man roster. So the Colts announced their initial 53-man roster today, August 26th, 2025. It's deadline today. It was at 4 p.m. Eastern. We got our 53 guys. Some shockers in here, I will say. I think we're just gonna go by position group, kind of do, flashcards basically, just talk about it quickly. And we'll sprinkle in some other things as well. Where are we getting started?
Let's start with let's start with the offense. We can start with offense. We can just start with the QBs. Actually, before we do that though, let's go and hit that like, subscribe button, drop a comment below. Let us know how you feel. Tell us about your fantasy squad. If you got a bunch of Colts players on your squad, if you decided to play it smart and go with some other players as well. I don't know. You may think it's smart by having a bunch of Colts players. But let us know. Let us know how you feel about it. Let's start
Let
with
us
the QBs.
know. Let us know in the comments. Let's start with quarterbacks. So 3 quarterbacks made the roster. We got Daniel Jones, Riley Leonard, and Anthony Richardson. So we knew Daniel Jones was the starter. Anthony Richardson, QB2, Riley Leonard. I was pretty certain, Jamal, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty certain he was going to be QB3.
Yeah.
They invested a draft pick in him. Looked pretty good during the preseason. And let's be honest right here, Riley Leonard could start a game or two this season just because Daniel Jones hasn't been healthy. Anthony Richardson can't stay healthy. Plus, man, let's just say we're 0-3, 0-4. Maybe they throw Richardson in there. Maybe he wins one game or two. We're sitting there out at 2-8. They might give Riley Leonard some run. But right now, he's just going to be emergency quarterback.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I think when Sam was here, he got 3 starts as well. He lost all 3 starts, but the point is, he had a couple opportunities to start just because it was such a mess, and this very well could end up being a mess for the Colts. So I wouldn't put it past seeing Mr. Leonard out there for a game or two potentially.
Yeah, just to see what you can get out of him. Like maybe he can be the next Brock Purdy. Most likely he's not, but there's always that chance. And we're going to get into it because there's some guy, like I always talk about it. I feel like when we talk about draft picks and stuff like that, like these day 2, day 3 picks, these undrafted free agents, they make a splash sometimes. And it more likely than not more likely than not, but sometimes your favorite player is a undrafted free agent who worked their ass off and climbed the ladder.
The hungriest ones out there, man. They got something to prove for everybody out there, so they come in with a chip, and sometimes that chip is elevates them.
Yep. Running backs. Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Goodson, DJ Giddens. I think Tyler Goodson is still recovering from an elbow injury, but DJ Giddens, a lot of hype during training camp, a lot of hype during preseason. I didn't really see much in the preseason, which is fine. Like I'm okay with that, but a lot of people like him. But of course, we have our workhorse running back JT. I mean, bro got 1,500 rushing yards easy this year.
Without question, my man's about to be, like you said, he's about to be that bell cow back there, getting 20 plus carries a game. Let him eat, let him feast, and do what he does. But like you said, we got Giddens and Goodson back there. Hopefully, we talked about this before. Hopefully, we've been working on some of that pass blocking for us because we know that's been an issue in the running back group, more so specific with JT. But as far as running ability goes, zero question what's going on. He stays healthy. He's going to take us to the promised land, at least in the statistics box with the rushing game.
Health is wealth. That should be the motto for the Indianapolis Colts this year, because there's been a litany of injuries that it just seems like it happens every year. Wide receivers. So Michael Pittman, Alec. This was probably the group that we all knew. Like, I didn't think any other receiver could sneak into this. We had our six. We knew who they were going to be: Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, A.D. Mitchell, Ashton Doolin, Josh Downs, Anthony Gould. So I just thought, I guess, like, we didn't really see Downs, not much Pierce, Pittman a little bit, but A.D. Mitchell is probably the talk of the town in this group. Made a lot of splashes in a couple parts of training camp.
Mm-hmm.
He was targeted a lot in the preseason. This is the year I like. We need to see some growth. Like, I like giving these guys 3 years to fully transition to the NFL, to show, hey, can I get this year 3 breakout? Hey, can I be an NFL wide receiver? Like, A.D. Mitchell has it all, I feel like, and he's just very inconsistent at times. I'm hoping we get some productivity out of him this year. Some good game. Like, he doesn't have to be a monster every game, and we got a lot of mouths to feed on this offense. Haven't even touched on Tyler Warren, but like Michael Pittman, Pierce, Josh Downs, like there's a lot of guys that are capable on this offense as a pass catching group. But A.D. Mitchell, at least from an efficiency standpoint, like, I got to see something.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, AD, I feel like even and I respect that like you said, you give the people 3 years, because that's very fair to have time for development and kind of get introduced to the NFL, because it's a different beast in college. No matter where you went, it's still a different beast in college. AD was the talk of town. I feel like he had a lot of flashy stuff going into that rookie year for us in training camp and stuff as well. Because I remember I would be the first person to tell you guys, I was like, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of whispers about AD and how he could take Pierce's spot. He can get to come up, and it seemed like it was going good. And then all of a sudden, reality struck once NFL action started hitting, when the real season started. So while I have appreciated what he's done this offseason, again, every year we get hyped off for one or two players on each side of the ball who has a crazy preseason and crazy offseason, and then we just get very, very disappointed throughout the season. So I got to see it in real life. I got to see it happen. It's set for him to be as good as he needs to be. It's all up to him at this point. But like you said, this wide receiver room, I feel like it's pretty tried and true at this point now for us with the guys who are in there, and it was going to be pretty hard for anybody to come in there and take this spot. But I'm excited to see what AD can do this year. Maybe we'll see a little bit more Doolin on there too. I feel like he's always that last guy hanging on by a thread for us, who is consistent when we need him to be during preseason, all that stuff. But then we just don't really see much of him during the season. So I would like to see him get out there a little more this year too.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard for him,
Yeah.
like outside of, maybe like an Ebsy said, you got 4 wide receivers out wide or something like that. It's just, it's hard for him or Goo to get out there, but I think they provide good depth. But yeah, I think this pass catching group as a whole is very underrated. We might not have a bona fide stud on this group that's going to be the talk of the town, but as a whole, underrated for sure.
No question.
Doesn't get much praise. Tight ends, baby. Let's get into it.
The fat has officially been trimmed. We no longer have 76 tight ends on our list. I'm all about it. Looks like we got.
Let's talk about it though. Tight ends:
Warren, Will Mallory, Drew Ogletree, Mo Ali Cox. That's it. Where your boy Woods at?
My boy.
Yeah, talk to him. Talk to him. That's been your day one.
You said my boy?
Virginia days. Talk to him.
I told y'all. I've told y'all like all off season. I was like, Jelani Woods is not going to make the team, and y'all kept telling me he's He's flashing. He's on the field and stuff. I said Jelani was not going to make the team, and he didn't. And he didn't.
He didn't.
This was your breakout candidate for like the last 4 years, bro.
And he never did it. Injuries were his arch nemesis, his Achilles heel, however you want to slice it. And I feel like a lot was on the table for him when that catch was called out of bounds. I feel like you can see it in his face, like how disappointed he was and upset about it, even though it's just a preseason thing. I think a lot of players know, based off of how, obviously they know a lot better than we do, based off of how their time is going into place. I feel like it's kind of like a seal deal for him, knowing that he's probably gonna be here too much longer, because my man was like too emotional over that.
That was a nail in the coffin.
It was the nail in the coffin, and it's unfortunate, but I'm glad to see that we've trimmed so much of this fat. Will Mallory took that spot because Will Mallory's just been a more productive person for us. And that's just plain and simple as it is. Tyler Warren, de facto one. Obviously, we know how that goes. Mo Alley Cox, the blocker for us. He can get in there and block. He can catch some for us as well. And Ogletree, he can catch pretty much anything that's coming towards him. So I would really like to see this group going back to pass blocking. I mean, it seems to be a theme. Or run blocking, I should say, for the sake of this. But I would really like to see this group step up and really hone in on blocking. We know that all four of these guys can catch. They can pretty much catch anything that's coming at them. So really focus their skills on how to be a better blocker in the run game to help elevate our run game for us.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what Tyler Warren's snap count is going to be, like percentage wise of a game. So I think that's going to be telling. Like if Mo Alley Cox is taking 30-40% of snap, like we'll see when week 1 comes against the Dolphins. But it's just interesting. Like Jelani Woods, 15 games in 3 seasons. Of course, he missed 2023 and 2024. But like I started thinking about it, man. Well, I guess we'll talk about it. Can we talk about the cornerback group real quick?
Go ahead,
because it kind of leads into this. So let's jump to the defense real quick.
I've been telling y'all for years to just cut your ties and just get over it, but people want hometown hero to stay. I get it.
No, that was your boy. 6 cornerbacks have made the 53-man roster. So we've had a bunch of injuries come to this group. Travarius Ward, Kenny Moore, Jalen Jones, Xavier Howard, Jonathan Edwards, Mekhi Blackman. So Blackman was just acquired, I believe, for a 6th-round pick on Monday from the Minnesota Vikings. There's a guy missing from here as well that is a bust. His name is Juju Brents. Juju Brents.
Little Juju. 2nd rounder, 3rd rounder?
2nd rounder.
Yeah.
2nd round pick.
Yeah.
Man, this guy didn't last. Like, he didn't even last 2 years. It felt like.
It's always every week, injury, another injury,
another injury. Literally 2 years. But then I started looking back. I was like, Jamal, man, this 2023 draft class. Let me just go through it real quick. And you tell me how many hits we had. You can say hits, busts, and maybe to be determined. So, okay. Anthony Richardson.
To be determined, but closer to bust.
Closer, yeah. To be determined. 1st round. 2nd round, Juju Brents.
Bust.
3rd round, Josh Downs.
Hit.
4th round, Blake Freeland.
Leg injury, so to be determined. Yeah, according to you, he'd be a bust, though.
Also, 4th round, Adetomiwa Adebawore.
I guess really I haven't seen TBD. What are you gonna say?
I'm there with you. I mean, he's not really a hit yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go through these real quick. Darius Rush, Daniel Scott, Will Mallory, Evan Hull, Tice Leo, Jalen Jones, Jake Witt. I mean, Mallory and Jones are on the roster.
Yeah.
Scott made it, right? Daniel Scott, yeah, he's there. He's just like, you look at this draft class. If Anthony Richardson turns out to be a bust, this is a really bad draft class.
Hey, you talking? Hey, you called Ballard the draft whisperer every year, bro. That's what you be saying. That's what y'all be saying.
You what? Yo, Darius Rush didn't even make it to the. He didn't even make it past the preseason. Like
I
this,
remember. I remember.
that was crazy.
I didn't he get picked up by like the Chiefs after like the first week of practice or something like that. That's crazy. We
It
dropped him.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. He must have said something to one of the coaches. But so jumping back to the cornerbacks, this cornerback room has changed completely from a month ago. They're also trying to work out Mike Hilton, veteran Mike Hilton, who's worked with Anarumo in the past with the Bengals. It looks like Ballard's not stopping. They want more guys in this cornerback room, even though they got 6 of them right now on the roster. Like Xavier Howard is I mean, father time catching up, boy. Like I tell you what, but he's a veteran. It's like, you know, Jonathan Edwards, undrafted free agent, beat out Juju Brents. Like that means something. I don't care if he's going to be a backup. He beat out a second round pick from 2023.
Just examples of everybody's backs against the wall. Everyone's jobs up, up to be lost this year. Ballard and those guys, so they don't have time to play the nice guy game anymore. And it's kind of funny to see now that it took to this long to realize what you were dealing with, and now all of a sudden you're kind of scrambling, which is why, like you said, he's not going to stop at the cornerback position. This was last year. He would say, "I'm not worried about it. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." But now he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta do my job because I'm gonna get fired if I don't." So now this is have a sense of urgency, man. This is the nature of the
Jim
beast.
Irsay ain't here to save you anymore.
No.
Rest in peace, Jim Irsay, but he ain't here to save you anymore.
No.
So yes, I completely agree. But shout out to Jonathan Edwards. He played well in the preseason. So he made a lot of plays, I will say. Sorry, had to jump to that because it led into that 2023 draft class.
Very fair.
Let's jump back to the offense. We'll finish up there. Offensive line, Tanner Bortolini, Matt Gonzalez, Quentin Nelson, Danny Pinner, Bernard Ryman, Brady Smith, Luke Tenuta, Jalen Travis, Dalton Tucker. Anything stands out to you there, Jamal, from the offensive line?
We dropped French, right? So we let him go. Everybody else is fine.
French Fries is no longer here, boy.
French Fries no longer in the building.
Will Fries is Viking, and Wesley French, yeah.
Yep. So that's just this new regime for the O-line. We're looking to see what they got going on, but no surprises, no true surprises with that. I'm ready to see what these guys can do. They've got some work to do. Obviously, down Blake Freeland now, so we don't have that. We don't have that extra backup piece right there with that broken leg, I believe it was. So let's look and see what happens. But these guys, I feel like this line is, again, communication is what they have to learn to talk about who's going to call protections, quarterback versus the offensive line, and figure out what's the best line of communication for them between the quarterback and the center. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that this line has to worry about this year. But it'll take some weeks. But I feel like by week 5, week 6, which is a long time in the league, but by week 5, week 6, this line should be pushing on all cylinders. Of all cylinders, what we're going to see pending any injuries.
You think Bortolini and Gonzalez got what it take?
They ain't got no choice at this point, baby. It's game time. I think they got it. I think they do. With Sperano back there helping them out, and you got Big Q back there, I think they do. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see these young bucks have to get kind of tossed into the fire so quickly, and figure it out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this kind of new look offensive line looks like. Yeah. Of course, that left side has been sustainable, and it's the pillar of this line. But as you get closer to the center and the right side, it's a little new. Braden Smith, of course, is a veteran, but he has some shit going on. So I got to see him play football again and stay healthy. So,
yeah,
let's hop to the line. Defensive line, 11 of these guys made it. JT Tuamalo, Grover Stewart, Tim Smith, Kwity Paye, Taquan Lewis, Latu, Eric Johnson, Neville Gallimore, Samson Ibukam, DeForest Buckner, Adam Wall, Adam Barway. So stacked in terms of quantity. So they not playing with the line this year. They rotate a lot there. Half those guys are going to get run, 30-40% snap count a game. What you think, Jamal?
I think it's fine. We talked about this before, where we need these guys to We know they're going to be rotated in and out a lot. No one's going to be just dominating the snap count, like you said. So having this many on there just means that we now have opportunities to stay fresh in every down. Obviously, whenever we get to these 2-minute drills and things like that, we're not going to have a lot of opportunity for these guys to rotate in and out just because it's not realistic. But and these opportunities, we're in the middle of the field, man, we got to be rotating through this crowd. So I need all these guys to be feeding off each other, and really thriving out there to whether you're on first down or you're on third down, whatever the case is, to get out there and make a play, because that's going to set the difference. We need to get more pressure back on the quarterback to generate more sacks. And that's going to be the main difference for these guys. So truly having that big of a rotation should definitely make a big difference for us if they can be efficient with getting on and off the field in between plays.
Latu needs to finish his plays.
Yeah.
Need more sacks from him. Quiddy Pay. This is make it or break it, baby. Got to see something. Just a guy right now. I will say, he's not a standout edge rusher in my eyes yet. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that way. Just for some reason, he don't got that twist, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't see anything that's like elite about him. And then we got Tui in there. You know, we got the older veterans, Grover and DeForest Buckner, and probably top 5, I would say, duos as far as defensive interior. Ibukom's coming back from the injury at Abare. I like it's going to be a fun defensive line, I think.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Linebackers, Zaire Franklin, Joe Bacci, Cameron McGrone, Segun Olubi. So
whole linebacker.
Yeah, it's gonna be a new look because we're used to seeing Zaire and EJ out there the entire game. Like, that's how it was. EJ Speed's gone. He's a traitor. I believe he went to the Texans. Like, go somewhere else, man. Like, go outside the division.
My man said, y'all gonna yell at me for recording a podcast. I'm out. I'm gonna go to a division rivalry.
You was just talking about bouncing CJ Stroud. Now you his teammate. Hey, do what you gotta do for your money. Jalen Carlisle's, he's on the IR. So it'll be interesting to see when he comes back how this will shake up. But this is one that's going to be a mystery. There's going to be a lot of timeshare here under Anarumo's defense. So I'm cautiously optimistic here. Bacci made a lot of plays in the preseason. McGrone was a training camp standout. So look, Zaire Franklin, I believe, was a 7th round pick. So a lot of these guys, they ain't no day 2, day 1 pick. So We'll see what happens. A lot of promise.
A lot of promise for sure. I need to see this. I don't need to see Zaire getting 100+ tackles because we're letting people get 3, 4, or 5 chunk yard plays on us. I need to see Zaire with 60, 70 tackles because he's hitting them at first impact. And obviously, I know that's not realistic for every single play, but I'd rather that volume go down because we're getting hits delivered immediately rather than letting people get opportunities to catch the ball and then get up a couple yards, and then we're chasing and we're getting a lot of pickup tackles like that. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. And Olubi, I'm excited to see him out there too, to get some time out there. I know every player has their own routine, all that stuff, but it intrigued me last year when I was on the field for like pregame passes or whatever, to be out there in the field. This dude's like warm up routine just to get his mind right. It was just something. It was so methodical, and I appreciate it because these guys, so many players, they lock in different ways. But not only did he lock in that way, it was a preseason game. He locked in so heavy right there. And then he went out there in the preseason game and balled out. He had a great game. I can't remember what it was last year, and it doesn't matter because it's a preseason game. But the point is that, like, that's a player who I know he can do it. And he's been trying to for the past couple of years on this team to really get his opportunity to lock in, and which is why he's still here. Now he may get a much bigger opportunity in this new defense to get out there and do some big things. So excited to see what he can do as well as these other guys.
I like that. I like it. It's crazy that Zaire Franklin was a 2nd-team All-Pro last year. Shout out to him. Shout out to Big Q as well. He was, I believe, 2nd-team as well. But like you said, Jamal, like he led the league in tackles. So was that just a Gus Bradley incident, or was he out there making plays? I will say it's a little mixture of both. but he is a team captain. I like Zaire. He does talk a lot, but he backs it up a lot. So
Yeah.
I will say. Let's finish this thing up. So we already talked about cornerbacks, safeties. So we got Cam Bynum, Nick Cross, Daniel Scott, and Rodney Thomas II. So 4 of these guys. Again, we talked about injuries. Hunter Voller, another guy that was pretty promising, also went down, foot injury, season ending. So I'm excited to see Bynum. I just want to see him celebrate. He has awesome celebrations. Nick Cross, this will be year 3 for him. So this is where I step up, baby. Step up to the plate.
Nick Cross was a dog last year. We talked about it. We talked about how well he was playing last year. We gave him a lot of praise. I believe it was, I forget what episode it was, but one episode you talked about how well he was doing. And I mean, you acknowledged the fact that he had the most tackles. Obviously, we don't want that, but people were hating on you because you acknowledged the fact he had most tackles. My man had to have the most tackles that game. He was on the field moving, but that just meant he was able to be, play high, play low, move around. Didn't matter what he needed to do. He was getting to the ball, which is what we love. I mean, we got to have players like that. Like you said, I am super excited to see Bynum out there, especially because of the celebrations. They had one. They did a little celebration during the preseason game when they did it, when they had a pick. Bynum wasn't out there, but he was. You could tell these guys are still trying to figure it out because after, I forgot who it was, got the INT, Bynum was. It was the second half, so he was like already out of his regular uniform. He was like yelling at them to go run down to the end of the end zone to do the celebrations. That was kind of fun to see. So you can tell he's got some up his sleeve working with these cats. But yeah, I mean, Rodney Thomas, we saw a little regression from him last year after he had like a decent start to the year before that. So this room has some players who've been in our system for a little while. I think Bynum definitely elevates it. I'm excited to see what Bynum and Nick can do out there, just to kind of show, just to bring another energy to the squad.
Yeah, I'm hoping that happens. Finally, Ballard pulled the trigger and added some talent. Rounding it out, kicker, punter, long snapper. So Luke Rhodes, Rigoberto Sanchez, Spencer Schrader. So big exchange here was probably Schrader after releasing Matt Gay, which was very much deserved. He needed to get out of here.
Watch he go like he kicks like 98% in Washington when they in the playoffs. It's gonna be crazy.
It'd be like that sometimes, but yeah, Schrader, I think only missed 1 field goal in the preseason, so I'll take 90% or 95%, whatever it was. I'll take that any day. Let's see if it transitions to the regular season. And that rounds out the initial 53-man roster. Things can still change technically, but that's where we stand. Any other last comments, Jamal?
Nah, man, that's it for me. Like you said, as always, just getting ready for the season, ready for some fun. So let's see what these guys can do.
Yep. We're how far away now? About a week and a half.
Yeah.
Week and some change. Yeah.
Get ready to tailgate out there. We'll talk. I'll mention it again next time. But anybody's gonna be tailgating for the first game, let me know. I'm gonna be out there tailgating live for sure.
Wish I could be there.
Yeah, we'll see how many people show up.
I'm gonna try to make one. Well, I don't know. I don't know anymore with the quarterback names.
Man, still sick about that.
Maybe if Riley Leonard play or something, I might fly out there.
I don't know if you want that either.
Hey, that's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts, and we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take it easy.
Easy.